Piano man, front and center. What's your name?
That's all.
Lawrence.
Lawrence. You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Are there any drummers in the house?
I play percussion.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
Isn't that intro awesome? It's so cheesy.
My drum set's a guy, so.
A guy. Whoa.
So that makes you gay.
Don't tell anyone that, Heath.
You actually have seen that movie, right?
Yeah. Which one movie is that? Wait, I thought you were talking about Step Brothers. Yeah.
We are talking about Step Brothers, I think.
Rubs his balls on the... He's like, well, my drum set's a guy, so.
I don't remember that part.
I haven't seen
gay.
Step Brothers in forever.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
What's
up, everyone?
That's Echo.
I remember that part. I just remember him saying
Yeah. His
the-
drum set was a guy.
I don't remember that.
When's the last time you saw that movie?
Dude, years.
I think it's been since high school for me.
You probably saw it when it was like on TV, all edited.
Yeah, I saw it on PBS. Is it the same
Nope.
effect?
Nope, torrent.
Right after.
The same thing. It's
A
all,
torrent version.
It had Thomas the Tank in it.
it's Shark Week. This place is a prison.
What's up, everyone out there in podcast land? We have our good friend Heath in here.
Sup?
Sup. And our really horrible friend Oleg, who's late today.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. You should
I'm
be.
here. I'm alive.
Close.
I am alive after dealing with a bunch of freaking...
You moved into your new house.
I moved into the house, but I'm so sick and tired
Someone stole
of
your bed.
service. Well,
Someone stole his bed.
UPS stole my bed. They delivered it on... UPS delivered me a brand new bed on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday picked it up. I am not
They
kidding.
changed their mind.
They changed. And so the guy calls me, and I'm like, what happened to my bed? And he's like, well...
I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's... No, but he
I sleep in. Sorry, guys.
That's awesome.
Don't mean to be mean.
No,
to
well,
your race
dude,
out
the
there.
guy was telling me, he's like, well, on Tuesday we delivered it, and Wednesday we picked it up. Like it's normal. Like that's normal.
Like they were driving by.
Like
oh, look at that. He didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? I sent an
What?
email to I sent an email to Crocker Ranch, like the housing association, and they sent out a mass email to everybody about my theft. And then afterwards, I realized UPS took it.
Dear patrons, our newest member of our family has lost his bed.
Has lost his bed. If anybody has seen a bed with a mismatched backboard because it had a mismatched headboard on the bed.
Oleg likes to switch it up.
And so there's still construction going on. So I was like, I was looking at every, Hispanic community person.
Whoa, man.
Wait,
We
hold
have
on.
a huge
Whoa,
Hispanic
whoa.
following, man.
Whoa.
They could be really, really dark Russians. Russians do construction, too.
I was talking about a whole nother subject at that point.
Oh,
I was talking about how Hispanics are my friends, and I really
okay.
like those guys.
I do,
So
too.
I don't know why you put
Heath
those
is a
two.
Hispanic.
Heath.
He looks like a Spaniard.
I don't know. The way he downed that beard, I would think he's Irish
That
or
was
something.
a root beer.
Yeah. No, that was a beer
That was
bottle filled
beer
with vodka.
Hairy eyeball. Hairy eyeball.
How are you, sir?
I'm well.
You guys started Taco Tuesday at your house? I saw that.
Taco Tuesday. That's why you think I'm Mexican?
No. It's just a beard. You look like a count.
Right.
Like you'd be a count. Count of Monte Roseville.
Mm-hmm.
Are there like average American? I feel like the average American has Taco Tuesday. Like I don't know if I've.
I don't
you know what I
know,
mean?
dude.
Everybody has Taco Tuesday.
Not like
you
they
have
do.
to
You guys
really?
open doors.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm gonna come to one of those.
You're welcome.
Already?
Am I invited?
Of course.
Yes.
Doors
Frendz,
open.
Frendz is gonna come visit your Taco
and
Tuesday.
do a podcast from
So
Taco Tuesday.
Absolutely. Seriously, the whole idea behind it is everybody shows up, everybody cooks, everybody cleans. It's just community.
That's cool.
Like,
That's
don't,
awesome.
Don't talk it, do it.
Really?
That's
Everybody
really
just
cool.
for Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
Everybody just comes, just cleans.
This week was your first one.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was awesome.
That's why you were late.
That's why I was late.
Hey, that's a good reason. I'm not mad about that. I was late too. Everybody's late today. This is the first time
Hey.
you were on time. You're always late.
I know.
This is the first time. This guy is always late
Hey, Oleg,
everywhere.
just go ahead and start setting up. I'm over here in North Highlands picking up some faucets for the new building.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dude, I'm so busy. Where are you at? There's this chick I met, and I'm.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not,
no, I did not say that. No chick made me late.
It's always
to
either
Frendz.
I met this chick or it's
No,
payroll.
it's not. I never met
one
this
or the
chick.
other. He said I
By
never
the way,
met
this
Because he
this,
was
po-
too late.
this podcast is brought to you by the lie detector because Oleg is a fetching liar.
What brand is the lie detector? I want to get one
The liar
to see if
5000.
you actually do payroll every
Hey,
time.
someone does it. It's definitely me.
I'll never forget where I was like, dude, how many times are you going to do payroll? You're like, dude, I'm the janitor, the HR
Hey.
department, the CFO.
Heath
It was
owns
awesome.
a business. When you first started out, the Hub. Heath owns, just for those of you who don't know, a bike shop called the Hub.
The hub.
The Hub.
The hub.
And you know, in the beginning, he did everything, right?
I still do.
You still do. I still do
I was
too.
beating rugs today.
Yeah. So sometimes, and that's not slang.
it was so funny. This guy walked by, and he was like, they got you doing the dirty work, huh? I was like, yep. Then they
you're
went
like
in.
myself.
Then he went in and he was like, "Yeah, I'm here to see the owner."
That's
And they
funny.
pointed out the window to me.
You're like, hey,
Be right in. Yeah. How you
just like
doing?
just like that.
What
Just
what
like
kind of bikes do you sell? Is it like motorbikes or like regular bikes?
Motorboats?
No, motorbikes.
It's a friendly family podcast, Heath.
What?
I mean, just
Nautique? Wakeboarding, dude. Full spike.
of course, that's what I meant. I just want
Yeah.
to make sure.
Ski-doo.
We just all want to be on the same page. That's all.
Bicycles.
Bicycles, nice.
You know, Queen.
Do you sell the only brand I know? This I hope you guys don't laugh at me. Is a Mongoose. Do you sell Mongooses,
That's
or is that like a sport bike?
It's
the colors
that was
you
my
guys
very-
have in this room.
Yeah.
Black, white, and orange.
Are they still around?
Mongoose is still around. They are primarily a department store bicycle.
Did they start off like that, or did they start off like a legit brand?
They started off as one of the most legit brands.
And then they just got so big that they got bought out, or how does it work?
They got bought by a larger company called Pacific. Pacific was primarily interested in numbers, getting.
Yeah.
I think their intentions were good initially. They wanted to just get more bikes out to more people, but they ended up just putting out what we know as crap.
That's good.
Yeah, that bike didn't last me very long.
Well, so this is the difference. A lot of people don't realize it, and we actually do most of our marketing and advertising. And first 5-6 years we were open was all about trying to educate our customers about the difference between department store bikes and a legitimate bicycle. And you get people coming in going, well, I can get this bike that looks just like this for $200. Why is this $10,000?
Comes the helmet.
You have $10,000 bikes at your store?
Yeah.
Dang, that's dope.
And we go, well, why don't you walk across the street to Walmart, pay the $200 for that bike, ride it back over here.
And see if it makes it.
Good luck with that. And if you get here, we will let you test ride that bike versus our bike, and you tell me what you think.
Interesting.
And very, very, very many times people would try to take us up on the challenge, and they'd bring their bike in and the fork would be on backwards, or the wheel wouldn't be completely tightened down, or the handlebars would be super loose.
Because
So they literally
Just
bring
so-
the bike back?
because Walmart assembles it, right? Or they think do they come assembled?
They do. They assemble them at Walmart, but I believe they pay
A guy to do it,
whoever
whatever.
to build them by the
Uh-huh.
by how many they get built in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So they just throw them together. I mean, 99% of the bikes that we see that come in from them, even if they're 100% built correctly, they do not work. They pass no safety standards. They have no R&D behind them. They're just put together like a Frankenstein.
Wow.
So if you pedal on like what's called a full suspension bike, it's got the shock in the back and it looks tough and it's like shiny, bright
Fuchsia.
lead covered steel, and they you try to pedal on it. What a lot of people don't realize is the chain will grow. Okay, you squish down, and the chain grows. Chain grows, it doesn't stay on the chain rings
Because it gets loose.
Yeah. So people will be like trying to pedal, and the chain's just popping and popping and popping, and they're like, "What's wrong? I just bought this. It's a brand new bike. It's $200. It looks amazing."
Yeah.
You're like, "There's nothing you can do to make that work." They've done nothing to engineer the bike correctly so that it actually performs.
That is insane.
Dan, that's crazy. So these $10,000 bikes, that's like a car. So it's a pretty big investment for you just to have that bike, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not that's not like your only bike that you guys sell. You have full range of price point.
Well, we used to. So we started off trying to accommodate every person that would walk through the door. That was our mission, was to create cyclists. And what we realized is that the more and more we invested in people, the people that, for lack of a better word, were just uneducated, they were our biggest problems. They would come in with bikes that you couldn't make work correctly. We would spend literally hours trying to make them work as good as we possibly could. They would leave, say the bike still didn't work correctly.
But you guys.
And then they would write a big long review online, give us a 1-star, go around and tell everybody that we were a crap bike shop, and then nobody would know the difference, So what we did was we seriously considered what we were going to do moving forward as a business, because it's our passion to create cyclists. We have, literally hundreds of customers that have come in incredibly overweight, spent weeks and weeks and weeks researching product. We get them on like a $500 bike, start talking to them about basic nutrition, basic sleep patterns, like just, being healthy.
Oh, so you guys even branch out there, like nutrition part of things.
It's all free though. That's just a part of the service that we offer when people come in and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I go to a gym and people just blah, blah, blah. They try to just sell me and get me in and rope me in and get me on some program. And we're like, look, just do this. Give them a very simple program, get them on a bike. And we've seen, we had 4 or 5 guys that we actually ran commercials for. It's called the best shape of your life. And one guy, Kevin, we call him, his name is Kevin Underkoffer. We call him the Undertaker. He lost 125 pounds in 1 year.
Wow.
And is now racing for us and is one of our best racers on our team in 1 year's time. And he made such a huge impact. We would have a picture of him next to his before and after, and we did a TV commercial with him.
He's your Jared.
Yeah, absolutely. He was totally
Subway.
our Jared from Subway. Yeah. He said he had people coming up to him in the store asking to see his driver's license. And he would show him his old driver's license, and he literally looked like Butterball, that dude, the MMA fighter guy. Butterbean.
Yeah.
He looked like that guy, and now he looks like a full-on like Levi Leipheimer, like pro cyclist, like just shredded. You would have no idea in 1 year's time.
That's nuts.
And that just came from us, like, you walk in the doors of the hub, and you're gonna be taken care of. All we care about is you. When you come in, and so back to what I was saying before is we've had to weed out the low-end customer. And a lot of it is because we have a Sports Chalet right next to us. We have REI right next to us.
Tons of places around.
Oh, yeah.
Walmart right across the street. We have all these big box
Sharp
stores.
bikes.
We can't compete with them, right?
No,
on the low end.
That's a brand. There's a shop over here.
But what happens all the time is people come back to us because we educate them.
Yeah.
We do this, nutrition. We do anything. We'll take you out on a ride, show you how to shift, show you how to ride in a pack, how to ride in a group, how to ride in a mountain bike, how to ride in a road bike, whatever you want to learn. We do that as a free service.
No, wait. So let me ask this. So you're saying you guys left the low end market and you're keeping the high end market. So now you're saying that there's people that don't know much about bikes that come in and want to know more about bikes. So why are these people that don't know anything about bikes come into a high end bike shop?
They probably don't.
What attracts them? Yeah, what attracks them? You would say.
Reputation.
Oh, okay.
Is one thing that we're hearing a lot
word
lately.
of mouth.
Word of mouth, and just this last week, we've had 4 people come in, because we track this, we look at conversion, we talk about like how we're spending our time, are we using it wisely, etc. So this is all like tracked information. We've had 4 people this week come in and say, this is my budget, $400, $500. When we're done with them, like 3 hours later, they're looking at like a $2,500 bike with like $500 worth of accessories, and they have to go home, check with the boss, look at the finances and figure it out. And this is it. This is like what we believe. Like people come in all the time and they're like, hey, I'm just a beginner, so I just want a beginner bike. So our philosophy is, so you need the $10,000 electronic super light easy bike to ride. What? No, I just want a basic beginner bike. No. You said you were a beginner and you wanted a beginner bike. A beginner bike needs to be
Easy
the
to
most
ride.
user-friendly, easiest, simplest, low-maintenance, basic, lightweight bike to give you the biggest advantage that you can get, right? Oh, I didn't really look at it that way. Well, yeah, that's why you came to me.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do all day. I do look at it that way. I see people come in, spend $500, come back 6 months later, spend $2,000, come back a year later, and spend $5,000. Why don't you just spend
in total they spend $10,000.
Right. Why don't you just spend $3,000 right now, get the correct bike, get the right stuff. We finance, we do free, no interest for a year. I mean, we make it so it's impossible for you to come in and say, this is what I need, and then say, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
See, only even you can become a cyclist.
Yeah. Dude, my cardio is not even halfway up
It
to
will
far.
be there.
Dude.
Me and him have debates about cycling and lifting weights. You should see some of the messages I sent him. We can't talk about them on the air.
Let's
Dude,
how much
all I have to say is Phil Heath, Lance Armstrong.
Hey, you
Phil
know what?
Heath, Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong was able to do whatever he did with half of the cojones. As Phil Heath.
But Phil Heath had a much smaller cojones.
You know what? That guy, I gotta say, like, just on the record for Lance, that whole thing, like everything that's gone down for that guy, I always knew he was doping, because how are you going to beat the best cyclists on the world that are on dope and say that you're clean?
Yeah.
Right?
With half of the testosterone
So
producing.
The reality is that dude had a platform. Like Mark McGuire, when they had McGuire, they had Canseco. That's always my example. I used to always say that to people. I'd be like, look at McGuire, look at Canseco. Canseco denied it to the end. McGuire said, yeah, I'm doing it. It's not illegal. If it's illegal, I'm going to retire. They said, well, it's illegal now. And he said, then I retire.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, actually.
Yeah.
He's the only one that you never hear like in the dirt of the whole conversation.
Because he was always up front. He's like, why wouldn't I do it? Everybody else was doing it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like not to switch to another sport, but like Chael Sonnen was saying, he was like, the problem is with PEDs in sports is that it works. It works. And it gets you to the top level. It gets you the fame. It gets you the money. Perfect example is Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
Start using PEDs.
Yeah. Well, in sports, you're not in any sports.
dang it.
What sport do you do, Serge?
Dude, I bike and I swim.
Did you not see Whiplash? You think that dude wasn't on coke?
Okay, so back to I kind of interrupted you, but so you have the guy that's like, hey, I'm coming in, I want this bike, and you convince him to, instead of spending $500, $2,000, $5,000.
I don't like the word convince.
Not convince, yeah. That's
I
what
like
I wanted
to
to figure
educate.
out. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then it's up to you what you do. We give you the resources, we give you the education, we explain it all, and then we tell you, like, here, go out and spend this money, because you can take bikes back to REI, you can take bikes back to Sport Chalet, Walmart.
Yeah.
You can ride it for like 6 months and bring it back, so there's really no risk. You come into me, I'll give you like a $3,000 bike, you can rent it for $50 a day, and if you end up buying a bike from me, guess what? That money all goes to the purchase of your bike. You have no excuses except for laziness.
Oh, so the rent money goes to the price of the bike? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you
That's
come
really
in, you
cool.
ride the bike. Even if you don't buy that bike, you buy another bike from us.
Yeah.
It's within a 2-week period, obviously.
That's
you can't
cool.
come
I
back
didn't know you
like
do that.
6 years later and be like, I demoed
Yeah.
a bike like 6 years ago. Got my $50.
So wait,
Probably still give it to you,
Yeah,
but it's not our
because
policy.
it's that guy. That's the guy that you want to avoid
Yeah.
having that conversation with.
Yeah, I'm really
There's a
curious.
Sport Chalet right down the street.
You have a lot of competition.
You guys
Walmart,
do.
Sport
You're in the-
Chalet,
Yeah.
all those.
REI.
REI.
All
dang.
within a
Sharp.
half mile.
Sorry,
to a
I
mile.
don't mean to keep plugging those guys. I just find them funny because I walked in there once looking for. I was like, I had I don't remember what I was looking for, but I just walked in because they were new. I just wanted to look at them, and they just gave me the biggest like awkward stink eye, and I was like, oh, great shop, guys. See you later. Never
That
coming
was one
back
of the
here
other reasons
again.
that we opened a shop is there is a lot of elitism. It's a very male dominant industry.
It is
Not a male dominant sport because there's a lot of women who ride, but it's a male dominant
Do you know any
industry.
single women that ride?
I do.
We'll talk
do.
later.
Yeah.
Talk off camera.
Dude, if guys are okay, never mind.
Okay, continue. So male dominant. I see that all the time when I'm like on the trails. Guys will totally like eyeball you and look at your bike and your gear, and then
Oh, yeah.
they're like,
You got
some
names.
guys are friendly. Some guys you wave to, and they're like,
Not
like,
on
they
road
think-
bikes. It's very rare to get a roadie to wave or acknowledge.
I hate that, man. I always do. I do it as a joke now. I'm like, hey, hey.
Mountain biking culture is very different. It's very like, I have beer in my Camelback. What are you doing after this? Let's go have a beer.
Yeah, you don't get that with road
No,
cyclists.
the very type A, very, I only have this much time and I have to produce and I have to have, quantitative results for my efforts that I put out today. And if I don't, then the stock market's going to crash. And
Guilty.
I'm going to kill somebody. Falling down.
It's probably why I ride a road bike, huh? Subconsciously, I fell into that whole thing.
Dude, so why did you start the bike shop? How did it start?
But before we go on, but I'm not like that though. It's weird. Like you get some guys that are pretty relaxed and pretty nice, but majority are just like
Most of them are road
douches.
bikers
Sorry.
that have mountain bikes.
ah.
They use road bikes for training. They're not predominantly roadies. And sure, you're going to get one out of maybe 200 or 300. That's going to be the exception to that rule, but it's really,
I love
it's
smashing
really
on those dudes. I've smashed on so many guys that have really nice bikes and have all this fancy gear.
Uh-huh.
I love it. It makes me feel so happy.
But this is the thing. You have no idea if it's a training day for them, if they're
Yeah,
doing
that's
a
true.
recovery ride.
I don't care. I'm still smashing on them that day. That day, I'm smashing on them.
I crush you.
I crush your spirits.
My name is Evan Drago.
I no wave to you no more.
I have best training ever.
Oh man. So, do you road bike or you just mountain bike, right? Or you do both?
When I was riding, I wasn't when I stopped. I started riding road bikes because it blew my knee out in skateboarding, and that was how I fell in love with road cycling, was rehabbing my knee.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I decided to retire from skating, I decided, well, what are the negatives of riding bikes? And I couldn't really think of any. And the more I thought about it, the more I meditated on it, the more it became, like, wow, this in a zombie apocalypse, like bikes are relevant. Like there's no arena of life where bikes are not relevant, and there's no real negative to bikes. So I decided
Except
I was
for
going to.
skinny arms.
Well, that's if you don't do push-ups
Yeah.
or
So
ride
in the
mountain
middle of your
bikes.
bike ride,
Mountain biking, you get some upper body, huh? With
Yeah,
mountain
mountain
biking.
biking is more all around, for sure.
I need to get a mountain bike. Oh, you want to get mountain bikes?
Dude, I don't have time
Maybe
for a mountain
maybe
bike.
we can find a bike shop to sponsor us.
Then you gotta get
Hint,
a rack, and you gotta drive to the trail.
Never mind. So you're saying retired from skating? Like you? When did what age was that? Did you did it as I mean I know
It's
because
like 2001.
people don't know this, but you used to skate as like that was your gig, right? That was you were a pro skater.
Yep.
And how long did you do that? Since you were like a kid, or
20 years. Yeah.
20 years of skating? Wow, I did not know that.
Not true.
That's awesome. And did you like travel, or I mean, like
Yeah.
how on what level did you compete? Because I don't know like is there an NBA of skateboarding? I don't know anything about skateboarding, so I mean I'd love to hear.
Well,
How does
I
it
was
work?
I was the tail end of the initial professional era of skateboarding. So you had the Z Boys, which is everybody is familiar with now, but they were they were very, very isolated. There was like 4 or 5 guys, and then there was the Bones Brigade, which came from.
These are
Stacy
like
Peralta.
clubs, right?
No.
Or because we don't know the Z-Boys.
Well, the Z-Boys was like an international phenomenon in film.
I think we just moved to America.
Is
We
that
didn't know the
is
English. We didn't
ZZ
even
Top?
we
Is
didn't.
No, they did. Sean Penn, we
didn't know English
He
then.
narrated the documentary that Stacy
Really?
Peralta did, and then it became like a big Hollywood remake of the documentary with actors and everything. That was recently. It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, we still didn't know English then.
Yeah.
We just knew. We just listened.
You guys
as soon as
speak
we
very
figured
well.
out, we'll learn.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, so you're on tail end of that whole scene.
So, well, that generation. So when we were progressing and creating things, like there was no magazines, there was no medium. Like everything you did, you were basically making up. And then I remember Thrasher magazine came out, and stuff just started rolling. Videos started coming out, all that kind of stuff. And I was from a really small town, Pacific Grove, down by Monterey area. And just a phenomenal, unbelievable, skate utopia. Just a very small community, but just hills, and with hills comes stairs and rails and transitions and speed and everything that you can think of with, San Francisco, that kind of NorCal vibe skateboarding. And just we really developed a scene there. And to get myself recognized, I would have to go up to San Francisco. I'd have to go to Santa Cruz, kind of the bigger skate cities, and get recognized. And I was one of the first guys of my city to actually get known, get famous. There was one other guy that came out of our area called Justin Gerard. He actually started a company called Mad Circle. We were kind of the guys that paved the way for the guys in our area. But what it was you're just learning how to market yourself.
Yeah.
And it was a very uncomfortable thing because all I wanted to do was skate. Right. And
it's like musicians having to market themselves. I see it all the time. It's like, I just want to play drums.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about social media or business or bills. I just want to play drums.
Super difficult.
But the guys that make it are the guys that figure out the system.
You figure out the business side of it. You get into the design side, the graphic side, the marketing side, which is where I really developed my business sense. Was I started working with guys that were at the top of the game and like designing clothing, designing shoes, designing boards, doing all that kind of stuff. And I was one of the guys that helped design the first X Games skate course down in Florida.
Oh, wow.
And I still have that. I just found it in my memoirs the other day when we got done with that and submitted it. The guy that was building it was this famous ramp builder named Dave Duncan. And we had no idea where it was going to go, but it was like one of the first televised, skateboarding events. And now look at it, it's massive.
Ginormous. Just have cars jumping on ramps now.
And you got Rob Dyrdek doing the Street League and everything. Now guys can make millions of dollars just from skateboarding on a competitive level, whereas before, there was 2 different kinds of skaters. There still kind of is. There's the competition skaters, and there's the real skaters. That's how it was.
Is that still the way it is now, or no?
It's a lot less of the division. You still see it because people are stupid, but the reality is guys like Nija and Tori Pudwill and Shane O'Neill, the guys that are killing it and owning it at Street League, are the best, some of the best skaters of the street too. So you can't really
Tony Hawk
differentiate.
too, yeah. Tony Hawk.
He's not. I don't think he's.
Yeah, Tony Hawk was the epitome of the contest skater. And then you would look at guys like Eric Costin and Guy Mariano. They were like, I'm never going to go to a contest. Like, that's stupid. And what they did was they marketed themselves through magazines and videos.
So sponsors basically.
And that was it. Yeah.
So they didn't care about winning any awards. They're like, hey, I get paid money just to skate.
There weren't awards. There was no awards. There was contests, first, second, third place. That's it. And then there was just getting your board sold, getting your shoe sold.
It's kind of like fighting is right now. And fighting right now, there's a lot of guys that don't make anything off of the UFC. All their money is from
sponsors. Yeah,
it's the pioneering era of that sport. Absolutely.
Interesting.
It was the same thing for our generation.
Yeah. Yeah. that
I
makes sense.
always thought the goal was to compete because like you want to, but I guess it's a little different. I guess it's like kind of like music too. There's no drum competitions. You make money off of either making playing shows or you could become a clinician where that's like the competition side of it where you're kind of making drums into an athletic
Right.
like an athletic
yeah.
phenomenon. Right?
Yeah.
Well, look how fast I can do this, and
Yeah.
look how crazy this sounds over some, BS music like tracks that they made that are not really like they're music, but they're like you'd never pop it in your CD player.
Right.
I don't mean to say BS. Sorry, I'm just saying like there's stuff that some guy made it in the lab to where it's like it's in 7/8 and 5/8 and 4.
You mean the drum lab?
Yeah, the drum lab.
The drum lab?
One of our sponsors.
That lab?
The drum lab.
One of the original OGs sponsors.
OG.
Yeah.
They still sponsor us. They still let us use their room.
Yeah. The finally air conditioned.
We finally, petitioned.
noticed
We
that.
petitioned for the
noticed
AC.
that.
to be
I had
turned
to
on.
get signatures on a petition.
Yeah.
And and then finally, Such is like, all right, you and Sticks,
Fine.
fine.
AC stands for all clear.
How big is skateboarding right now? When Tony Hawk was in it, it was like huge. Now I don't never hear about it.
Skateboarding is absolutely massive right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's bigger than it's ever been.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I had the same opinion as him. Like I never, I see skateboarding. Obviously, it's like a recreational thing you
Walk
see all the
through a
time.
mall. Look at how
yeah,
many
yeah,
skate
yeah.
shops there are.
Yeah.
Clothes. Yeah, there's-
99% of the people are wearing some sort of skate influenced, culturized.
What do you think is the main
article of
is the
clothing.
main age market? Isn't it teenagers? You think or no?
Because our era, so I'm 41 years old. We're the ones that pioneered that. Like you think about it, when we were wearing baggies and all that stuff, people were like, "You're the criminal." Everybody in the movie was a criminal was riding a skateboard. We were always the bad guys, the rebels, right? In the high school, whatever arena, the after school special.
skateboarding is not a crime. The most famous, not most famous, but a famous sticker you see.
Yeah.
Or
If you wanted
slogan.
if you really wanted to make sure that people understood that somebody was a criminal in a film or TV medium, you put them on a skateboard, and people were like, "Oh, this bad guy," right? And then all of a sudden, the movie Kids came out. Harmony Korine came out with that film Kids, and we were red rope everywhere we went. Like Hollywood accepted us, embraced us, brought us in. I remember Steve Barra started dating Juliette Lewis, and just everything blew up for us at that point. And once that happened, Levi's came out with relaxed fit jeans. Vans became super popular.
and they're still huge.
Yeah,
Vans
and they're gonna be huge forever because they were before skateboarding, and they're known as a skateboarding brand, but they really weren't just a skateboarding thing. They were a lifestyle. Surfing, skateboarding, that whole atmosphere of living on the beach and living in the city and right there on the coast. That was their
relaxed.
their whole vibe. So baggy and loose fit and everything became in. And then ironically, 20 years later, when my friend Corey Duffel, who is one of the guys that I watched change the clothing industry again with the whole skinny jeans, that dude did it almost single-handedly, and he did it because he loved the Ramones. And he got skinny jeans. He had Sessions, the snowboarding company, give him a signature pants, and they were stretchy jeans.
Skinny ones though.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah.
And that was 2000, 2001. Go back and look at the trends in fashion. All of a sudden, skinny jeans are cool. Skateboarding is very much the underground of clothing culture in America, which means they're very much the underground culture of clothing and fashion of the world.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That reminds me of Michael Jordan. He's the reason that people started wearing baggy shorts. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, when he came into the NBA, he wanted to wear his North Carolina shorts, but they would show past his shorts, and the NBA didn't allow that. So he bought larger shorts to hide the North Carolina shorts, and so the baggy style set in, and everybody started wearing baggy shorts. That's pretty crazy. One
Yeah.
person just
Yeah.
changes the whole industry.
Well, it means
It definitely
iconic
looks
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to change the trends by you wearing yoga pants everywhere.
Me wearing yoga pants?
Hopefully everyone catches on. Yoga pants are cool, everyone.
No,
Yogurt.
the trend you're trying to start is the bun.
No, I'm not really starting that.
Yeah,
It's just
so
my hair's long.
It started and it
gets out
just
of
ended all of
control.
a sudden.
You should see what it looks like in the morning. It's like a
Isn't that already
you send me
past started?
Snapchats,
There's
I
like
know.
dudes that go around and cut. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
The video,
saw
like,
that.
go around
It's pretty
cutting those
funny.
off on people?
they put it in a little jar and throw it in the ocean.
Just
That's
light
cool.
it on fire and throw it back in the coffee shop. It smells like burnt hair in here.
So you got out of skateboarding because you had an injury? Is that why, or you just got out because it was time?
No, so skateboarding still to this day is live fast, die young.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 25 years old and I had a child with my wife, and I had just been on tour for 6 weeks, and my son was 4 months old. Came home, I'm sitting on my couch. Things are actually going really, really well for me. I just signed a really good shoe deal. I was designing clothes for this company called Red Sand. My board was about to launch this new company. I was averaging like $3-4 grand a paycheck, and that was before royalties. And I didn't have to pay for any of the stuff that I needed. All my clothes were free, all my boards, all that stuff, all
That's
my
cool.
travel, everything. So everything was really set up and good to go. And I looked at my son, and he's 4 months old, and I just missed a quarter of his life. And I kept thinking about my drive, my motivation. And I was working on an interview with Thrasher at the time. And actually my friend Corey was working on an interview with Slap at the time. And so we were going out a lot together to shoot the same spots. He's a goofy-footed skater. I'm regular-footed. We had different tricks that we really focused on. So we
worked
really
well.
gelled
Worked
well
well
together.
together, yeah.
We weren't really competing with each other in a negative way. We were competing in a positive way where we were raising each other's level. And everything was just going absolutely fantastically in my skateboarding. I had rehabbed my knee. I was back. I'd just gotten the Hammer page and Thrasher over like a bunch of big name skaters. And they tried to give my trick away to a bunch of other very well-known skaters. They actually called up Jamie. They called up John. They took them to my spot, and they were like, can you do this trick on this rail so we don't have to run this picture of this, guy that's, because I was a Christian, they wanted me to stay on the outside, the fringe, the freak guy. And because I don't fit into the, live fast, die young culture. And they couldn't. And I remember Luke, the editor of High Speed Productions at the time, calls me up and he goes, hey, I got to tell you, you just got the Hammer page and we're going to shoot an interview with you. And I just want to tell you, I took John there. I took Cardiel there. I took Jamie and the whole Zero team there. Like, nobody would touch that rail. So anytime you want to go back there, like, we're going back. That was the morning that I'm sitting there holding Elijah. And I just felt like God was telling me, today is the day you're going to choose. You're going to choose your career, or you're going to choose your family. And my whole life, from when I was 12 years old till I was, I think I was 20, so I was 26 at this time now. I just started weeping because I knew I was done. There was no way that I was going to sacrifice my family for my career. And I cried probably for like 2 hours. Like, there was just no more tears. I was done. I was dry. I was like hoarse. My son was just sitting there just like enjoying the day, like looking at me.
Dada.
I just remember. Yeah, totally. And I called all of my sponsors like individually and quit.
Wow.
And they were rightfully so furious, because they just spent all this money getting me to this place. I'm about to pay them all back by making my name for myself and getting all this product out there that's, has a demand. And then I walk away from it all. But the hard side of it for me was I didn't have any friends in the industry when I left. And, that was my whole life. It was everything I had done. And here I was like putting God to the test and going, now you got to provide for my family because I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have no idea.
This is when you were 26, you said?
Yeah, I was 25 years old.
Okay.
And my friend Steve Beck calls me up and goes, so I have a friend, runs a bike shop in Danville. He'll pay you $12 an hour, and you can go down there and work for him. I didn't know squat. I didn't even know what a derailleur was. I didn't know carbon. I didn't know aluminum. You can make bicycles out of different materials. I was that clueless. Absolutely no idea what was going on. And I was like, sure, I got a job already. I'll go. I showed up the next morning. Was an hour early. I was sweeping his parking lot when he showed up with my own broom because my mentality was, if you don't think I'm valuable, then you shouldn't pay me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, he was like, you got a job.
Which is rare nowadays, I feel.
So I worked for that guy for a year. And to be really frank, what happened was he said, I don't want you to surpass me, so you're fired.
Wow.
And I went and looked for a job other places and tried to find my niche and figured out that, like, hey, this is an industry that I love. I love the culture. I love the tradition. But bike shops do not do a good job of making new cyclists.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. So I went to work for the company that I thought was the best, which was Mike's Bikes. I'll keep it short. It was the worst experience of my life. When they fired me, basically, for being a Christian, we can get a little controversial on here, right?
Dude, whatever. We talk about
Anything
butt
goes.
hair
Yeah.
one time.
So they took me to Vegas and tried to
We
get
have
me
to
to
bleep
cheat
that
on my
out.
wife.
We're going to bleep out this whole segment.
Did you catch that?
Say it one more time.
They took me to Vegas and tried to get me to cheat on my wife
Oh, wow.
because that's what they did. This is like the uppers, the owners. I won't say names. They know who they are.
This was training for the job.
This was training for the job. Literally, my first day on the job. And
Wow.
they tried to take me to a strip club, and I was like, I'm going to go back to the hotel. And I made them so uncomfortable that they came back like, no, first they asked me to walk them to the door, thinking that if I got to the door, I would go inside.
Yeah, they're like, oh, come on.
So we get to the door, and I'm like, okay, see you later. And they were just like, what? And the bouncers were all awkward. Everything was super awkward. And I was like, you guys have fun. Like, I was rubbing it in. I loved it. And then they couldn't even stay a half an hour. They came back to the hotel room and just ragged on me the whole night. I can't believe you made us feel that way. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
That's on you, dude.
Yeah, you
How
felt
you
that
feel's
way.
on you.
So needless to say, it didn't last very long. It was like 6 months. They just, everything that they did to celebrate their lives was along those lines. So I just realized the biggest isn't the best, in the very, very truest, realest, most intimate way you could experience. And learned, the way that my dad taught me how to not do things. And when we started a shop, there was not a whole lot of, I had no business experience except for, marketing myself through skateboarding. And that was it. I just took those gifts and my wife, who was super, super supportive, she basically was the one that was like, you need to do this. Like, you're better than everybody else. Like, you need to be doing this. And it was 2007, so the market was tanking.
Oh, man.
And everybody was like closing up all their purse strings and everything. And God just gave us the opportunity. We pulled all the money out of the house that we had put in, and we opened the shop. And we've been.
That's a
open ever
scary
since.
time to open a business.
It's a
Yeah,
huge
I just
risk too.
Didn't look at the circumstances.
Yeah.
Just seriously, just felt like God was saying do it, so we just did it.
Yeah.
Where you opened it, is that where it is right now? When you first opened
No,
it?
so we just moved a year ago, doubled our square footage. So grateful for that. It's just
It's
a
a
better
killer spot.
Yeah,
Way
it's
better.
such a better, and that was a huge risk too, because when we moved across the street, that center was dead.
It was. You're right.
When we called the Yellow Pages to tell them we were changing our address in Google and everybody, literally, the person from Google was like, "You're moving to that center? Why would you move there?"
This is in Roseville? This is
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Roseville?
And they're like, that's the sleepiest center. Like, that's horrible. You guys are a good business. You shouldn't be moving there. This is really bad. And I mean, we're getting all this business advice from like the shopping cart marketing people, from Safeway. And everybody was like calling us up going, don't do it.
That's weird because I feel like there's no bad spots in Roseville, but I guess I'm
there
wrong.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely are, for sure.
Interesting.
Kind of like the plaza you used to be at.
Well, now
It's
where
like
we
that over
used
there.
now where we used to be is dying.
Yeah.
Because the landlords are just they don't take care of their people.
Yeah.
And they tried to rob us quite regularly to the point where we had to go and get public records to prove that the bills that they were saying we owed for our common area maintenance taxes weren't the bills that they were saying we owed.
Yeah. Because people they expect the person to be like, okay, I guess these are my bills.
just
I'll
pay
'em.
just pay it, and they ended up having to owe every single tenant in there $2,800 for that year that they tried to like charge us $3,200
Wow.
in addition, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just another.
Yeah, the new space is awesome. It's off
Beautiful.
of, it's Pleasant Grove. It's off of Pleasant Grove, right?
Yeah,
Pleasant Grove, and there's no cross street. It's right off of 65.
there is a cross street. It's Highland Point.
Oh, small. It's a small one.
It's called the Hub. The Hub.
Yeah.
That's the Hub bike
Yeah,
shop.
the Hub Roseville.
Do you guys have ginormous bikes for ginormous people like Oleg?
Yeah, how tall are you?
6'8".
So you
I'm
would need a
kidding.
custom
I'm
bike.
6'4". I'm 6'4".
6'4".
Oh, dang,
no
I
problem.
totally believed you.
Yeah, 6'4".
I don't know how tall you're
We
at.
could get you a stock bike. A 6'7", 6'8". Like I've had bikes built for Sharif Abdurrahim that played for the
Oh,
Kings.
no way.
Bobby Jackson's bought bikes for me. KJ.
Oh, yeah, he's a
Stevens,
big guy,
Caleb
too. He's
Wagner,
a little
they're
bigger
all
than you.
6'7", 6'8". Those guys have all come in. They would all need custom bicycles to.
So I would be like, we have this $55,000 bike right here. And wait, the price tag says $10,000. Oh, sorry, we got a markup. Hey, can we get the new price tag?
Give me the Sharpie real quick, Terrence. Okay, I have a geeky question. What do you think the next trend is for bikes in the next 5 years?
Trend?
Bikes
Trend
with
is
iPads
enduro
installed.
right now.
Enduro?
Enduro is definitely the trend, and for road bikes, it's going to be disc brakes, which are stupid, but whatever. That's
Why?
They get.
I've seen some on. Yeah, I mean, because
Or why is it the
I have
trend?
regular brakes on my bike. This is a geeky talk. You
What-
can go
what
ahead
the
and
heck-
tune
what-
out.
What the heck is a disc brake? Yeah, I don't
A
even
disc
know.
brake is like the
Like a disc?
brakes in your car.
Just
Disc
like a
brake.
round one.
Hydraulic
What's
disc brake.
what's a regular brake on a bike?
Rim brake.
Yeah, it breaks the wheel.
Oh, just the actual wheel.
Yeah,
oh,
so
gotcha.
use a pad on the rim and slow you down.
So why is the disc brake
Worse?
Yeah, worse.
Because
Well,
I've seen them quite a bit here and there.
so there's two sides of the story for me. There's the fact that the UCI, which is the governing body for the cycling race community of the world on a whole, will not change the legal limits for the weight of a road bike. It has to be 14.99 pounds. And the main reason that is because back in the day when bikes were made out of steel, guys would do everything they could to lighten up the bike. They would drill holes in it and, really screw with the structural integrity of the bike. Well, now that bikes are, I got bikes that come out of the box at 10 pounds. But some of those bikes from some of the manufacturers come out of the 10 pounds, and they just make them light to make them light. And to make them light, they can't make them right. And so when you're descending on a 10-pound bike at 50 miles an hour, it's skipping around because it doesn't move with the ground. It doesn't have like the proper flex and stuff built into the bicycle. It's not engineered correctly. So it's dangerous to a professional cyclist that has to ride that bike based on a sponsored dollar. So the UCI is looking at the health of the rider. They're not looking at the health of your pocketbook. So what they've done is they've kept it at this limit. Well, companies like Cannondale and Trek that do all their own R&D and they manufacture all their own bikes, they do all their own testing, they do all that stuff in-house. They can produce a bike at 10 pounds that will track better than anybody else's bike at 15 or 16 pounds, but it gives you a 5-pound advantage in weight when you're going up a hill, and that's where all the races are won, is up the hills and in the corners. That's a massive, massive advantage. So if another manufacturer can't make that bike weight and make that bike safe, they just go, all right, this is the weight.
Like a bell curve almost.
Yeah.
It's lame.
So what I've found about the disc brakes is the disc brakes are the equalizer. So now you can make a 10-pound bike, add 3 pounds of disc brakes onto it, and then you can just use a couple of additional parts, and it actually makes the bike safer and still meets the regulation requirements. But the biggest issue that I have with it is you're putting all the weight in the wheels where you don't want it. Although most of it's at the hub, which is better because it's in the center of your, rotational weight and stuff, so it's not as detrimental. But to have a disc brake bike, you actually do have to overbuild the rims a bit because of all that extra torsion that's going to come on the wheel. So it's a plus and a negative, for the tech geeks. But it's the trend right now, so that's the short answer.
That's good.
Sweet. Well, we are about to go over our limit and be cut off.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and just keep going.
Yeah.
Last time we kept going
randomly.
No, that's awesome because I'm a cyclist. Oleg is not because he doesn't love Jesus. But whole other topic.
Because I'm trying to get shredded.
Oleg wants to lift a truck. Yeah, I want to lift a truck tomorrow.
This episode is brought to you by
sweaty guys at the gym. Because I love sweaty guys.
Hell yeah.
We've had debates about
He just
this.
wants to look good naked.
Yeah.
That's why.
And
Like
I
people
already look good naked.
People that try to say they go to gym for any other reason are just flat out liars.
You bunch of liars out there.
And another lie, another people that lie are people that say, I forgot what I was gonna say.
We were talking about naked guys.
That's what they say?
Yeah,
That's what
I
they say?
have a picture of Serge naked in my head right now. I don't know why.
Oh, you see, you got that Snapchat I sent you this morning.
Serge sends me the most interesting Snapchat videos. I wish I could save them, but you can't save Snapchat videos.
That's exactly why I sent them to you.
That's exactly why he says that to me.
Anyways, Heath, this is actually really interesting because I didn't know half the stuff about you, and I learned a lot about your business. Because I figured you guys were. I mean, you guys are an awesome bike shop, but I figured you guys hit all categories, and you're just a standard bike shop. But I'm glad we had you on because I learned a lot about your guys' business. That's really cool. Like, I mean, it's rare. It's rare to see businesses that are not looking at. I mean, you're obviously looking at. You got to make a buck to stay open, but nowadays, everyone's looking to you're looking at just profits instead of looking at the quality of your business and what you're doing
Purpose.
Why are you doing this? And so I think that's a big trend. We were just talking. JJ was on a couple weeks ago, and we talked about why are what do you think is the next trend for craft beer? And he said there's gonna be a lot of guys that they're gonna fall off of the wagon because they're gonna realize hey, this is not just about profit. It's about the guys that are gonna true to their craft are gonna stick around. Same thing with I think any business nowadays, especially with the power of social media. I think social media is your word of mouth on steroids. And so I'm really glad that you guys are going about it that way because it's rare, and it's nice to see that I go to a good I go to a good shop.
$10,000. I never knew that. I'm still
10,000
boggled.
That's not the most.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's a car.
That's a really
Bikes don't
cheap
have no
car. I'd rather
engines.
have a bike for 10,000 than a car for 10,000.
It's almost as much as my car.
No, it's not.
Well, I got a really good deal on my, my
dang.
car. Yeah.
There's a really great marketing thing from International Mountain Biking Association, where they have this bootsy 1960 rusted out Chevy Impala, and it says worth $3,000, and then on the top it's got this brand new super blinged out carbon mountain bike, and it says worth $10,000, and underneath it says, do you have your priorities straight?
That reminds me of that other one that says a musician is
Yeah, I was
somebody.
just about to say that. Good. Say it.
I can't even really remember.
I remember it. It says musician packs $10,000 of gear into a $2,000 car to play a gig for $20.
Yeah. That's exactly what, that's so true.
It's so true. It's so true.
Oh my god, that's good.
Heath, if you do need help with your marketing, we have a great sponsor of our show. They're called buzzhive.net. They make your website for free, and all you'd have to do is buy into their marketing. Pretty cool guy, Jason. He's one of them. Whoa, my mic just... Are you messing with my mic, bro?
I almost
heard that.
unplugged you.
Dang, the people from ISIS must be infiltrating our
No, it's just the headphones,
our
though.
audio
We're good.
waves. But BuzzHive is our dedicated hardcore.
BUZZHIVE.
Correct, sir. So if you need a bike website or you want to make a website for, African parakeets, Snapchat, how to trap Oleg's Snapchats that he sent me, they're really inappropriate. If you want to make a website for anything like that, hit him up, Jason from BuzzHive. Tell him you heard about his website on Frendz Podcast. He will hook you up with a free Snickers bar or a Twizzler.
Well, I haven't gotten my Snickers bar yet, so that's a lie.
We got to talk to him about getting us a buzzhive.net/friends. So people get...
Oh, it's buzzhive.net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Buzzhive.net.
Oh, okay.
It's just like buzz, like a bee, and like a hive where they live.
To infinity.
.net.
Check out the website, frendspodcast.com, and see how good he does.
Heath, you guys have a website? Your bike shop?
NorCalHub.com.
NorCalHub.com. He has an amazing bike shop. If you're in the Northern California area, you got to check it out. It's here in Roseville. And they do amazing work. They've fixed my bike. You guys tuned up my bike after I wrecked it. After I got hit by the lady in the Lexus.
Glad you're all right.
My hand's still jacked up, man. I can't do a push-up.
Yeah, it ain't no
And
joke.
my shoulders.
Share the road, people.
Not feeling good.
Share the road.
So, if you're interested in bikes at all, go see Heath at the Hub and
The
Hub, NorCal. One more time. NorCal. No, just type in.
NORCAL.
Is there Instagram or anything?
Hold on, you're up.
Yeah, we do. NorCal Hub Bikes.
Okay,
Facebook
check them
and
out. Frendspodcast.com. If you have any suggestions for our podcast or want to be on our show, if you live in Kansas, shout out to Kansas. We always shout out to Kansas.
Shout out to Kansas
We
every
have
show.
literally a huge following in Kansas.
70 million people.
No, not that many. But oddly enough, it's like Sacramento, Seattle,
Did
Kansas.
you know that Kansas had to split off into a pirate state?
No.
Yeah. It's called Kansas.
Isn't Kansas where Mormons believe heavens is going to be?
Heavens?
Heaven is going to be.
No, I
I
thought
don't
that
think-
was Salt
they
Lake.
believe
Mormons
it's going to
don't
be.
believe in that at all.
I thought
No,
it was
Mormons.
when-
Mormons
I
believe
thought it was
that's
when the Mormons ran into Salt Lake and they thought it was the ocean.
That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
This is called the most controversial podcast we have ever had, and I love it.
And we're being tame.
I know. Yeah, we just had coffee.
We're going to get a lot of hate.
Super
We're
mail.
gonna happy St. Patrick's Day. Today's St. Patrick's Day here.
Here's
I don't know if
migraine.
it's St. Patrick's Day in Kansas, but
Eat your potato tacos, you
And your
Irish
corn.
Mexicans.
on your corned beef.
And I haven't
whatever.
had any whiskey in honor
Dragon's
of
tongue.
Conor McGregor and
But-
St. Patrick's Day.
We're gonna
Oh,
go have.
we
we're
didn't even
gonna
talk
go
about
have-
fights.
We're gonna
We
go have a
didn't.
whiskey now.
Next time.
We
Next
are.
time we'll talk
Why?
about fights.
Where?
Cause I'm a whiskey connoisseur.
All right, you guys. We're tuning out, signing out, right? Signing out.
Signing out, tuning out.
With you.
Passing out.
NorCalBikes.com.
Nope.
NorCalHub.com.
Oh, it's better than FriendsPodcast.com, BuzzHive.net.
BuzzHeave.com.
Friends.net.
BuzzHeave. It's
Search hasn't slept in
Drumlab
748
dot
straight
hi.
hours.
Hey, I was doing payroll today, guys. Go easy on me. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Heath, thanks for coming on the show. Oleg, you suck. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye-bye.